You just won't believe it, but the Pleasure Squad has been around in North Korea for many years. Imagine, it's a group of women specially selected from all over the country. Their mission has become legendary, and today you'll find out exactly what this squad does, as well as the conditions women in North Korea have to face. During Kim Il-sung's rule, Kipumjo Squad formed. In the late 1970s, at his power peak, Kim Il-sung ordered officials to find the most beautiful and talented young women for the squad. They performed as entertainers. In the late 1970s, when Kim Il-sung's power peaked, he tasked his officials with searching the country for the most beautiful and talented young women and girls to become part of this squad. They performed as singers and dancers, and some worked as maids. However, the most attractive among them were selected to serve as women for the entertainment of the top echelons of power. The selection process was strict, as Kim Il-sung preferred virgin girls, believing they gave him extra life energy. After selection, the 5th Department of the party's Harmonious Management Headquarters trained the girls. Once admitted, they were assigned to music, dance, massage, or sent abroad for education. The Kipumjo squads had divisions unlike traditional harems. Some studied music and dancing, others learned the art of massage, and some were sent abroad to receive additional education. The structure of the Kipumjo squads was somewhat different from traditional harems, as there were various divisions within them. For example, the members of the Hanbokjo specialized in massage and taking care of the comfort of high-ranking guests, and the girls from the Kumujo organized entertainment programs, which included striptease as an essential part. For example, the members of the Hanbokjo specialized in massage and taking care of the comfort of high-ranking guests, and the girls from Kumujo organized entertainment programs, an integral part of which was striptease. However, the girls from the Manjokcho group focused solely on satisfying men's physical needs by providing sexual services. After Kim Il-sung's departure, his son, Kim Jong-il, continued to support the existence of the Pleasure Squad and, on top of that, had several personal mistresses. There are reasons to believe that other members of the Kim dynasty used girls in a similar way. Kenji Fujimoto, a chef who served the Kim family from 1989 to 2001, stated that Kim Jong-il's brother, Chang Song-thaek, personally handled the selection of girls for the country's leader. Zimita shared his memories with the journalists. Special auditions were held for dancers and singers. The judges required the candidates to lift their legs and perform similar tasks. According to the chef, before going through the audition, the girls had to have intimate relations with Chang Song-thaek. And yet, information about the Pleasure Squad remained scarce and almost inaccessible outside the borders of the isolated communist system of North Korea. In 2010, a woman named Mi-hyun escaped to South Korea, claiming she spent 2 years in this squad under Kim Il-sung. She said that she was recruited at the age of 15, while she was still in school. They checked all the students and excluded some of us, including me, after which they carefully examined my family history and academic achievements. She shared, "I was asked if I had ever slept with a boy. I was so embarrassed by that question." Under Kim Jong-il's rule, the requirements for candidates to enter Kipumjo became stricter. Now, they only accepted girls who were no taller than 5 feet 2 inches, to make sure they wouldn't be taller than the leader himself. Future participants couldn't have any scars or blemishes on their skin, and their voices had to be soft and feminine. In addition, all candidates underwent a strict medical examination. In 1997, Lee Il-nam, the nephew of Kim Il-sung, was killed. While in exile, he wrote memoirs that also talked about the Pleasure Squad. Lee described the wild, late-night parties and all the ensuing consequences that took place at Kim's residence in Haenyang. Here's a quote from his book. "The party routine included eating, drinking, and dancing, but usually ended with erotic games. The favorite game was one where the losers had to take off their clothes one by one. If everyone got really drunk, they also played a game involving shaving each other's hair. When the men lost, they would shave part of their hair off. If everyone got really drunk, they also played a game involving shaving hair. When the men lost, they would shave part of their hair off. They shaved the women's hair at the forehead." Kim Jong-un came to power in 2011. It's known that he disbanded the Pleasure Squad, but since 2018, their activities have resumed. This information came to light thanks to the testimony of Mi-hyun, who fled to South Korea. According to her, the squad consists of about 2,000 women each of whom is no older than 20 years. The initial selection stage is handled by specially appointed officers and government officials. The selection criteria are quite diverse, ranging from physical fitness to appearance. On top of that, each girl has to have talent in some area of the arts. After the selection process, the new recruits undergo training. They all have to undergo intensive military training under the supervision of Special Forces officers. As a result, a versatile team is formed. The girls are capable of both entertaining the leader on stage and protecting him in case of danger. The 50 best and most beautiful members of the squad are always by the side of the North Korean leader. The composition of this personal guard is updated every 2 months. Kim Jong-un generously rewards his favorites. According to information from several defectors from North Korea, about $3 million is spent each year on clothing for the leader's personal bodyguards. The selection for Kapumjo is conducted with particular strictness. Even parameters like height have set limits. The girls can't be too tall. The maximum allowable height is 5 feet 4 inches, which aligns with Kim Jong-un's preferences. Recruitment for the squad starts at the age of 13, and by 20, the girls are married off to high-ranking party officials. North Korea is known for its secrecy, and this trait applies not only to the country's internal politics, but also to the personal life of its leader's family. It was only thanks to South Korean media that the world learned some details about Kim Jong-un's wife. Ri Sol-ju, who is just an ordinary girl from China, married Kim Jong-un a few years ago and has given him 3 children. According to the existing rules, lovers are only allowed to get married on February 16th, the birthday of Kim Jong-il. On this day, the people of the country bring flowers, wear traditional costumes, and pray at the statue of the leader. This custom is observed by everyone, including Kim Jong-un himself. As First Lady, Ri Sol-ju has certain duties prescribed by tradition. She represents her husband on the international stage, so she prefers a modern yet relaxed style of clothing. Unlike her Kim Jong-un's sister, who represents her brother's interests within the country, wears traditional Korean clothing, Ri Sol-ju changed her name after getting married, keeping her old name and surname to herself. Meetings with relatives only happen with her husband's permission. The First Lady and her children lead a hidden life, free from rumors and gossip. Meetings with relatives only happen with her husband's permission. The First Lady and her children lead a secretive life, free from rumors and gossip. Her public appearances are coordinated with her husband and happen very rarely. Every move of the First Lady is monitored by the security service, and her movements are strictly limited. The use of social media is off limits. However, there is an exception to the general rules. Despite the tradition that forbids First Ladies from visiting cemeteries, Ri Sol-ju visits the graves of her relatives, but she does so, accompanied by her husband. Women in North Korea are required to follow strict rules regarding their appearance. The dress code is officially regulated by the state. They are forbidden from wearing bright colors, accessories, high-heeled shoes, and products from well-known global brands. It's also not acceptable to show bare shoulders or a stomach. Until recently, women were banned from wearing pants, although that ban has now been lifted. A standard business outfit for a North Korean woman includes a 3-piece suit with a skirt. Many women wear pins featuring images of past and current leaders of the country. The use of cosmetics, especially bright ones, is also prohibited. Breaking these norms can lead to harsh punishments, including being sent to labor camps. However, there is an exception: the chosenod, a traditional outfit that resembles a sundress, made from bright solid fabric without any patterns. It can only be decorated with hand embroidery. Chosenod is expensive, so it is not affordable for everyone. It's often given as a gift from the groom at weddings. North Korean women only wear the chosenod on special occasions, like the birthdays of the great leaders of the country. On such days, the streets of the city bloom in shades of pink, blue, and other pastel colors. In everyday life, women prefer modest and practical outfits in neutral colors. Life in North Korea starts early. Most people get up at 6 a.m. Morning routines include washing up with heated water, since there's no centralized hot water supply. It, like electricity, is provided on a schedule. Breakfast usually consists of simple food, like corn porridge with unsweetened yogurt. There's not much time for long morning rituals. Makeup is practically non-existent in the country, and you need to leave the house as early as possible, considering the issues with public transport and the long commute to work. Tardiness is strictly punished. The workday starts at 8 a.m., but employees come in half an hour early to get instructions from the management and catch up on the latest news from state sources. After the workday ends, there are lectures dedicated to North Korean ideology. The only official day off is Sunday. National holidays are tied to the birthdays of the great leaders of the country. However, these days, there's no chance to relax. All citizens, including women, are required to visit the monuments of the leaders before they get the chance to spend the rest of their time as they wish. In North Korea, wives often become the primary breadwinners in the family, as they have more opportunities to get well-paying jobs. Women make up a significant portion of office workers, while men are more often required to serve in the army, where the pay isn't high. Every Korean woman is required to serve 7 years in the North Korean army after finishing high school. For women, it's a mandatory service, unlike men, whose military careers can last longer. The training program for female soldiers in North Korea includes the same subjects as for men: marksmanship, hand-to-hand combat, basics of working with radio equipment, as well as operating complex technical systems and weaponry. Despite the tough conditions of service, many women continue to serve in the armed forces even after their mandatory service is up. However, recently the whole world was shocked by the revelations of a former North Korean soldier who escaped from the country. According to her, military service for women comes with tough conditions. Spartan conditions, inadequate nutrition mainly consisting of rice, lack of sleep, and grueling training. Living conditions also leave much to be desired. A shower is replaced by cold water from the nearest body of water, delivered through a hose. Due to stress and the tough service, many women experience health problems. Moreover, women in the army face humiliations from their commanders, who often coerce them into sexual relations for the slightest disobedience. The North Korean leadership denied this information, claiming that defectors shouldn't be trusted because they'll say anything for money. Marriages in North Korea are only allowed after reaching a certain age. 25 years for women and 27 years for men. Marriage registration takes place at the city hall, after which the newlyweds lay flowers at the monument of Kim Il-sung and take pictures in the park. Weddings are celebrated modestly, in line with ancient traditions, as lavish celebrations are banned in the country. Married women are expected to wear shorter hairstyles than unmarried ones. According to traditional patriarchal views, a wife should obey her husband and provide for the family if he is unable to do so. That's why many Korean women engage in various forms of earning money, including illegal trade in foreign goods. This business is often supported by corrupt officials, with whom women share the profits. About 80% of the business in the country is done illegally. Contraceptives are banned in the country, but they are smuggled in. Many women use intrauterine devices. Parents often take their daughters to gynecologists to have an IUD inserted before they start military service to prevent unwanted pregnancies, as violence in the army is a common occurrence. Even though plastic surgery is officially banned in North Korea, the wives of high-ranking officials and wealthy individuals turn to underground clinics for these services. The beauty ideal for Korean women is fair skin and big eyes. Most women use minimal makeup, like mascara and clear lipstick. Cosmetics made in North Korea are considered some of the best in the world. The country has repeatedly faced mass famine, leaving most residents with nothing to eat. Maybe the slimness of Korean women is due to genetic factors, but their daily diet really consists mainly of grains and fish. There aren't many overweight people in the country, and it's usually linked to health issues. Fitness clubs in North Korea's capital have become popular places to escape government restrictions. Here, women can wear revealing sportswear in bright colors, which is impossible in everyday life. I cannot say how reliable the information is, since North Korea remains one of the most closed countries in the world. The lack of internet and social media makes it really hard to get first-hand information. Tourists visiting the country may interpret what they see differently, and refugees' stories are often colored by emotion and personal experience. But what you can certainly trust is the offer I want to make you. You have a unique opportunity to become part of our team. If you have skills in video editing, can voice over videos in Russian, English, and other languages, or if you write interesting scripts, we would be happy to work with you. Message our Telegram bot. The link is in the description. That's all for today. See you soon.